Yeah, with that, I think we've waited a few more minutes, and people will still join, so we will have a relaxed start here. But I'm very pleased again to have Plataine here today with us and give us this interesting presentation. And with that, I want to hand over the word to Mr. Lison and say, enjoy everybody. Thank you, Plataine, for this presentation. And we see each other again later for the discussion. Enjoy, everybody.
So first of all, good morning to everybody, and I'd like to thank Bastian and Composite United for organizing this event. So let's jump into it. What we're going to talk about today is how artificial intelligence solution can enhance your production efficiency, improve sustainability, and reduce waste. And of course, we're going to concentrate on the composite field. And a few words just about me. So I'm a business development manager in Plataine. As you can see, I'm not so young. I have 30 years experience in business development. And I've stated here maybe an important thing. I was the owner of a company called Brightstar Group. And the important thing here is that the Ministry of Economy chose us to manage the Israeli Aerospace Manufacturing Federation. So I know this field quite from a lot of aspects, let's say. Two slides just about Plataine. Plataine is a software company adding an intelligent layer to your current MES or ERP systems using IoTs, that means sensors that collect all the information automatically from the production floor in order to give you all the information needed, and using artificial intelligence, we can start delivering you alerts, recommendation in order to improve your productivity. And during the lecture, I'll use a few examples in that session. The last slide about Plataine. So you can see here a few of our major customers. We're installed also in Airbus, in Boeing, even in Strata in the Emirates, Lufthansa Technik, quite a few interesting ones. We also support smaller companies. And from the partner point of view, you can see that SAP, for example, every project that they have composite, we are their preferred partner. We're partners with Siemens. And if you know CTC, which is an Airbus R&D center for composite, we have their system installed. Okay, let's get into it. So today, I'll talk about today's challenges that we have in the production. I'll talk about the Industry 4 opportunity, and then we'll see how artificial intelligence can help you in the digitization of the factory, and then we'll summarize, and if there'll be any questions, we'll have a QA session as well. Okay, so let's say, I think the main market challenges that everyone has is, first of all, the demand in increase of aircraft orders. One of the amazing things that is happening is that Airbus is targeting to go out with 70 A320 per month. So this is going to be a very big increase. On the other side, we have issues with the supply chain of composite. They're not standing behind the time schedules, and we have to really manage our material very carefully. It's hard now to get skilled labor after the corona. It's a little bit of a tight point there. Sustainability is becoming an issue. And maybe the most important thing that production managers have, operational managers have, is to be on time, on quality, and to deliver at the right time that they have promised their OEMs or tier ones. So putting all this together, it's becoming very complex, especially when you're talking about composite production. So just, I wanted maybe to go back a second, and when people talk about Industry 4.0, so you can see on the left side is, when you're navigating in a city, so the system, a 4.0 system can give you all the information. What's going on, where is going on, where are all the problems in the city, etc. The idea of adding artificial intelligence, you can see on the right side, is, okay, so how do I navigate through all these problems that occur during my navigation, and doing this in real time, doing this with alerts, and also having recommendations of problems that are about to occur in order to solve them before they occur. And that's the addition that all this adds to the Industry 4.0. Okay, so what's the opportunity? First of all, is collecting everything in real time, so you'll know exactly what's happening on your production floor. Then providing recommendations. Okay, and I'll give you a few examples just now. So recommendations can be from a lot of point of views. You're cutting, there's an order that came in, and you're starting to nest it. But the person that's nesting, he doesn't know that the mold went for maintenance. So maybe he should nest another product. And which one should he? The next one in the line, or the one that the material is going to expire by the end of next week, and if he doesn't nest it now, he should go into that. So all these recommendations, the artificial intelligence can help you with, and that at the end of the day drives efficiency, reduces cost, reduces waste, etc. And I'll show a few examples on that. So once you have, how does a system that has Industry 4.0 and artificial intelligence, usually this would be a cloud-based system because you need a lot of computing power. You will put sensors in the floor in order automatically to know what's happening and not depend on your workers and not waste their time, by the way, for the whole time entering what stage they are, what was done. And then you will connect the system to your supply chain as well. So once you have the whole production from supply chain until delivery in the system, you will start to get a lot of information from the digital point of view. And here you can see on the right side. So first of all, you get digital intelligent assistants, okay, helping you in design. And then the idea is also you define your KPIs. What is your KPI that you want to stand? The most important KPI is being on time, delivery on time, or maybe this month or the end of the quarter, the most important KPI is to produce the parts that will give you the highest revenue. Those are decisions that you put into the system, and those KPIs you put into the system, and he will help you then navigate with all these various elements in order to get to the right production. Now, another level is the issues of alerts and recommendations that the artificial intelligence can give you. As he learns, the way of production, decisions that you already took, and he takes these analytics and then he uses it for the next time in order to even get better. So it becomes very smart and easy to use. It gives you decisions and recommendations, and it also sees what are the actions. So if you acted upon his recommendation, or you decided, the manager can still override and say, no, I know that this depends on that. I'll take this. The next time he will learn that, and he will get better in his decision making. The whole idea here is, first of all, that everybody will get only the information that he needs for his task. There's a lot of information running now on the production floor. and it's too much information for one person to cope with. So each one, from production manager, from the planner, tool manager, quality manager, each one should get the GUIs and the information which is important for him, and only have that in order to be more efficient in what he has to do. The system looks at everything together, and the operation manager will get an overall view. But again, for example, he doesn't want to go into the details. Okay, so even when there is an alert, it depends on the level of the alert. Is it enough for the production planner to cope with that? Or is this already an alert that should go up to the manager, because this is going to affect the whole schedule of the whole production and things like that, and the system has to cope with that. So how can artificial intelligence help us in this direction? So first of all, of course, the idea is that it improves productivity and it improves your throughput, and I'll show a few numbers as we go. Digitizing the process is not only improving the quality, it's also the issue of traceability. So if I find that I have a problem in a product, I want immediately to know, okay, is that because the tool didn't have maintenance, the mold didn't have maintenance in time, or is that a supplier of the material? Now, once I find the reason, I quickly want to know any other parts that I produced with the same material or the same mold, and check them out before it goes to the OEM. Because if a defective part will get to the OEM, then the costs is not only the cost of one roll of material, it's much higher, as we know. So the issue is to get complete production control, reducing your rework. So if you know in advance that there's a problem, to solve it before it happens. And all this helps you to be on time. Artificial intelligence supports your decisions and makes recommendations. And the fun part about it is that he makes recommendations. And as I said, if you take a different decision, you override his recommendation, he will learn that. And next time, he will understand better what he has to recommend. So the idea is to collect from the floor using sensors. By the way, not depending on the workers, as much as you can, not to depend on input from the workers. This is taking their time, and they're sometimes forget to notify you. Get all the customer from ERP, from the MES, and from your suppliers. Collect all the data. Once you've done that, starts you have what is called in the field is digital twin, but the system starts analyzing and starts learning and can start the recommendations in real time and actions. Now let's go for an example, and I'll give a few examples so you'll understand of what I'm talking about. In composite, we have the issue of managing the time-sensitive material. So a lot of companies do this in Excel, when they took it out, when they put it back, or when it went into the autoclave, and then they sit down and calculate. But there is a higher level of working that you can go, and that is roles coming from your suppliers can have already, for example, an RFID tag on them. Once they enter the freezer, the system automatically notifies the ERP what arrived, if it was the right material. He downloads all the digital information of each roll, end of life, expiration, width and length, etc. All this is done automatically. The only thing the worker has to do is roll it into the freezer. And if you go to a higher level, he can even say in which track he put it inside the freezer. Now, when we get the work orders from the ERP, what it has to be done this week, the system will give smart selection recommendations. Which role should I take out for which work? Meaning, work takes 20 hours, okay, the system will recommend to take out the right material, but that has, let's say, 25 hours still left. We also go to higher levels, finishing off short rolls first, so you won't have a lot of remnants, knowing where are the defects so you can nest around them, but we'll not get into that today. Then once it's taken out of the freezer, the system looks at the defrosting and he will tell you per roll which roll is ready and can start using. Now, let's say we have customers that they used to wait 24 hours and only the next day use the defrosted material. The system will recommend you that this roll is already ready, and then in the next shift already you can use it and not wait 24 hours. Then there's the whole issue of managing kits. Kits can have a lot of materials. One of the material in the kit is already out of time. The system will give you an alert before, take out this kit, and you should do it, you should produce it, even though that the production is planned for next week, because the material is going to go out of time. Or it will tell you, okay, you don't have any deliveries this month, so you should change one of the materials in the kit, and you don't have to check out the whole kit. And of course, dashboards to show you what's going on your production floor is very important, but that's usual stuff. I hope you're starting to get a little bit of understanding where the artificial intelligence gets in. And for example, when you're doing scheduling, so it's very easy, and a lot of systems do scheduling, okay, and they do the plan of the week. But the idea is, and then the next week they see, okay, what did we really produce? What is left that we still have to produce? And they add on that the new production orders that they need. But if you know exactly where the material is on the floor, so you know which stages you are, and the scheduler can adapt itself in real time, and you can know exactly what's going on. Now, it's a lot of information. You're producing a lot of parts in parallel. So you need the system to alert you where is a problem. This product should have been already nested if you want to go out in time. The mold is waiting to go into the autoclave and it has 5 hours left. If you don't put it in, you're going to have a problem, for example. Or there is a delay. Now, if there's a delay or a system, one of your CNCs is not working, what should I do instead of that? What is the best decision? So there's a lot of decisions that have to be taken, and that's where the artificial intelligence helps you and recommends. Okay, I'm always saying it's a recommendation because the manager at the end of the day can take his decision. Now, if you have the information in real life, and if the system is showing you alerts before they happen, then you can allocate workers, you can allocate material, you can check out the situation before you have a problem, and usually or solve it or do a workaround, doing another product in the meantime. And by this, you can save a lot of time. Usually today, only when the problem is there and the product is stuck in one of the stations, only after a few hours, someone knows about it, someone notifies it, and then they start to think what happens. If you know this in advance, you can understand that this has a great value. I won't jump into this one. This is the issue of utilizing remnants and short rolls, not using static nesting. It's if it would be of interest, you guys can contact me thereafter. But the issue here is if you're doing smart selection to use up rolls, then you want to nest on the short rolls to finish them off and then go to the other rolls, and your system has to support that. But that's not in our subject today. Okay, so the idea, this is my last example. If once everything is digitized and you have it inside your digital thread with Industry 4.0, the idea is, and you can see here, this is, let's say, a kit, information about the kit. And at the bottom, you can see which materials went inside and on which mold was this produced. And this is just to show you that the easy part is when you have a problem, you tell the system, okay, I have this and this problem. What could be the reasons? And he will tell you, okay, maybe it's this material because I found that the same problem that was produced with this roll in another product. And then you can go down to the roll, first of all, search other products that you made with it. And third, talk to your supplier, okay? If the mold is causing the problem, you can understand that you have to change your maintenance sequence. But the idea is that it's very quick and the system can recommend to you what could be the reason of the problem. So it's very easy and the information is inside, so it's very easy to find it and check it out. And let's say if he recommended a mold, but the mold is okay, you can tell him carry on, and you'll find maybe one of the new workers is not doing the work right, and you have to train him again. These are the ideas that it also gives you recommendations on how to find the problem and where the problem can come from, because the information is there. Having said that, so first of all, the computer intelligence is the whole time increasing. I'm sure a lot of you heard about the GTP software where you can run things and it can do the work for you. Well, here we still have to do the work, but because the intelligence is going higher and higher, the dependency of skilled users and workers is decreasing, and that is making our life a little bit easier because it's hard to find good workers today. The worker himself will spend less time on all the operational side of the production because that can be done automatically, and he will do the production itself. The system will know when he started to do a product and when he finished it. You know, if the material arrived into the clean room and a mold for that kit also arrived, so automatically the system knows that he's doing now this product. And when it leaves the clean room, he knows it finished up the layup. I don't need the worker to tell me that that is the situation. I don't have to depend on him, making it more automatic and allowing him allocating his time for the real production and not for the operational side. I think here is one of the most important sentences. The collaboration between experts, and experts, I'm meaning, you know, the people that know, the operation managers, the managers of stations, even the workers themselves, with the artificial intelligence software together, we get better decisions and much better than any one of them individually. So not the workers by themselves and not the AI by themselves can make the best decision. Together of using the expert knowledge and using the artificial intelligence, then you get the best outcome. And of course, today's artificial intelligence learns as he goes. So he sees what happened, he understands why this decision was taken, and next time his recommendation will be even better. So this connection between the human and the artificial intelligence makes it really outstanding. And let's say the overall production will go up, error rates will go down, and just now I'll even show numbers from what we've seen on the field. So this is a case study that we did with Middle River in the US lately. This is an installation we did together with SAP over there. And you can see, have a look in the middle, the outcome. So this is what they said, and by the way, you can find this on YouTube, the CEO talking about this. So 5 to 10% overall improvement in material usage, 80% reduction in carbon waste, okay? 96% first time yield in composite nacelle structures. That's what they're doing there, by the way. And then they had a lot of stations where they could reduce the time from 12 hours to 3.5 and etc. I don't know which station, so I'm not going to go into details, but you can see here not only that they are using the system, saving material, saving waste, getting things right on the first time, they're also reducing a lot of time, which will help them to be on time in delivery. Another installation that we have in Airbus, this is in the composite production in north of China. This was the whole project. You can see here at the bottom was for 3.6% saving of raw material. That's what we calculated. By the way, these are very, very big parts, and that's why it's only 3.6, the saving. The interesting thing is that when they came back to us at the end of the year, they said the increase of throughput was already by 2.5%. The reduction in scrap was 2%. And by the way, the numbers are already higher. And this was a little bit amazing for us because when we went in, it was just to save them material. So when we look and when we take into account the overall projects that we did, you can see here the percentages that we got, and you can see the benefit. So if I'm starting on the left side, so first of all, throughput increased by 5 to 10%, rework reduction by 10 to 40%, and faster time of production by 10 to 25%. By the way, this for managers, operational managers, these things are amazing. And not without even changing the number of workers you have, without adding the workers, and with the same machines, you can get out of it much more. Okay? Then you have cost reduction overall because there's no rework, or let's say less rework. Usage of material is higher, so there's a cost reduction. You're using your materials better, so even the inventory is reduced by 10 to 15%. And the labor saving, and when I say labor saving, it doesn't mean, it means you don't have to get new labor or additional labor. So that's a saving because the same workers can do much more today and their life is much easier with not so many reports as they have today. You have 100% production visibility, reducing the quality risks, and of course, getting to 100% traceability, which helps you in the auditing, etc. Now, usually a project, a major project like this, companies come to us and say, if the return on investment is within 2 years, then we are very happy. From our experience, the return on investment is between 4 to 6 months because of adding this feature of the artificial intelligence, which saves you a lot of money at the end of the day, which is great. So if I would like just to summarize, to leave maybe time if there'll be questions, artificial intelligence together with Industry 4.1 can address your challenges. I think digitizing the factory and making it visible much more is critical today than ever, especially in this tight arena where the material suppliers are late, on time is very important, etc. And the greater value is achieved by increasing this automation because you're using higher levels of intelligence. I think quantifying the benefits within reach and demonstrating the significant outcome is today much easier. When you take a decision to integrate an artificial intelligence system in your production, the managers will ask you, okay, show me how much I'm going to save. So today it's much easier. In the past, it was much harder to quantify it, but today it's much easier to quantify it and see the benefits and demonstrate the significant outcome even before you have installed the system on the current production floor. And that makes the decisions of the management much easier to incorporate such sophisticated technologies. So I would like to thank you all and for taking your time and listening to this part of my lecture. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Lison, for this very interesting talk. And I think it's an exciting piece of technology or pieces of technology that you have to offer.